Mike, Tiki, and Tierney. How you doing, pal?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We are
What's
fantastic. I don't think any conversation with the Dolphins can start without mentioning Ryan Tannehill. How advanced has I don't want to say the maturation, because I think he's a mature kid, but the evolution into the elite quarterback you guys expect him to be, how has that gone with Adam Gase at the helm so far?
Tiki, we've been really encouraged, and, you guys will be able to see tonight, we play the Atlanta Falcons. We're here in Orlando. We play them on national TV tonight, and, Ryan will get a lot of work, and, his relationship with Adam's been really well. Coach Gase has done a good job going back to the spring with him, and Ryan's just been a really confident guy who's really taken the next step in terms of leadership. And, we were encouraged how we played last week against Dallas, and, we hope to continue to build on that tonight.
Mike, one thing, we've seen this with a few quarterbacks, and I've used the term quarterback rehab, whether it's RG3 with Hugh Jackson now, trying to revive his career. Who knows what happens with Kaepernick out there in San Francisco. Those aren't your properties, so they're not your problems. I don't think, and Tiki alluded to this, it seems like Ryan's a very mature kid, so it doesn't seem like he needs necessarily a full rehab or a complete remolding, if you will. But what is the first thing? What is the main priority specifically to make him a better player that Coach Gase has really dug into? What is it?
Brandon, I would say it's more fundamental. First of all, when you talk about the league, I think it's not about quarterback rehab. It's quarterback development. These guys are coming, from very simplified systems in college, and they have to learn, very sophisticated offenses. And in Ryan's case, he's put a lot of good tape out there in his first few years, and he needs to be, more consistent and make, and that goes for the whole offense for that matter. And, certainly like when the games are on the line in the fourth quarter, we got to take advantage of that. But, we're encouraged by his career trajectory. And, guys, there's that old expression, which is the tape sets the floor, meaning, his baseline talent sets the floor and someone's character sets the ceiling. And Ryan's character is impeccable. He wants to be great. And to see him with Coach Gase and Coach Christensen, our offensive coordinator, he's a gym rat. He can't get enough of this, and that's why we're so optimistic about it.
There you go. Talking to Mike Tannenbaum, VP of football operation for the Dolphins, with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
And he has a great receiving core, at least young kids. Devontae Parker, if he stays healthy, and obviously Jarvis Landry, who's just amazing. He made a Pro Bowl last year. But let's jump over to the defensive side real quick. And the star, one of the big stars of the National Football League, who had, I don't know, an enigmatic season, is the best way to put it, and Ndamukong Suh. Is he disgruntled in Miami, or is it just circumstance that caused him to have a perceptually off year?
Yeah, when you play defensive tackle, guys, as you know, sometimes you're going to have production, and other times you're going to create it for other players. But, one of the things we've talked about, all off season from our ownership, Mr. Ross, Chris Greer, our GM, Coach Gase, is we needed more depth, and we didn't want to put so much on any one player, including Ndamukong. So, we went out and signed Mario Williams, Jason Jones, Cam Wicks coming back from an injury. So we added Kiko Alonso to our front seven. So, we think as a whole, our front seven will have, more talent, more depth, which is what you need in the league. And, we're excited to see those guys as well tonight. And, Vance Joseph came over from Cincinnati, and I think he has a real bright future in our league.
Mike, I know I've asked you this on more than one occasion. It seems like we always get the same, maybe not the same answer, but the same result. And that's when I ask you about the overview of the AFC East. Is this the year the Pats are finally vulnerable? Well, obviously without Tom Brady for the first month, it's a very different set of circumstances. Jets have talent. Bills have talent. You guys have some talent. Is this truly the year that it's going to be different, and why?
Yeah, for us, look, New England's done a great job for a long time. That's, obviously stating the obvious, but we have a new coach, and, we're really energized down here. We have a great group of guys. We had a really good offseason. They worked their tails off, and, we'll see New England in week 2. But, we start off at Seattle, which is obviously, going to be a tall task to start the year. So, our focus right now is let's get through camp as healthy as we can, get ready for Seattle, and then, get on to New England in week 2.
Mike, we've spoken to players. We do Tiki and Tierney's two-a-days. It was now our fourth year where we chronicle 2 teams a day, get you set up with the season. So we've spoken to, we just had Drew Brees on yesterday. We have Andrew Luck on tomorrow. We've got a lot of big names. And when the Patriots come up, I always ask the question, would you rather play the Pats with Garoppolo or with Brady? And some of these people, Mike, they actually have the audacity. Oh, I want to play them when they're full strength. I'd rather, please. You guys get lucky because the Jets don't play the Patriots with Tom Brady on the bench. So you're not going to actually lie to us, and we've known you for a while, and tell us that you'd rather play the Pats with Tom Brady. You're not going to actually use that line on the show, are you, Mike?
No, but here's what I would say is, Coach Belichick, they've done a great job up there. And the last time Tom Brady didn't play, they won 11 games with Matt Castle. So that's just the reality of it. Like, they're going to be well coached. They're a deep team. They're going to be prepared. So whoever's that quarterback, and let's face it, guys, here's what also we know is over the course of the season, there's going to be unexpected quarterback play at a lot of different positions. So let's get to week 2, and, we'll be ready, but we know they'll be ready as well.
Mike Tannenbaum with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Mike, an interesting situation occurred last year with your team and one of your defensive backs, Brent Grimes, and his wife, Miko. I mean, you may not want to comment.
Congrats on getting rid of that headache, Mike.
I want you to comment on this. Did she have anything to do with the decision to move on? She had to.
Tiki, we always make, the best decisions for our organization. And when we made the football decision on Brent, that's what it was based on, and we moved on. And I can tell you this: we're excited where we are with the guys we have, and that's where we're focused.
That's a very politically correct way of tap dancing around a minefield. She was a mess, but we understand the position you're in. We got you on that.
What'd you say? You should have said, "God bless the Bucks," right?
Yeah, right. They're going to need it. That's their headache now. Hey, Mike, the new stadium. I just said this before. At least the refurbishment's not an entirely new structure, but it looks very different. I know that you guys have been striving to get a better home field base, more of an advantage. I know it's early returns preseason, but the anticipation is to have a very different game day experience. Do you think it's met right away?
Yeah, Brandon, we're so fortunate. Tom Garfinkel, our president, Steve Ross, our owner. We have truly a transcendent stadium, and that'll be a great experience for our fans because it's an open-air stadium, which is taking advantage of the climate in South Florida, obviously, but it has a canopy, so our fans will be covered from the elements. So we really feel like it's going to be the best of both worlds. It's natural grass, which is really important for us that we wanted for our players, and we really think we're blending in the best of both worlds. So we'll be there next Thursday to play Tennessee in the preseason, and we couldn't be more excited about it.
Mike, there's an interesting movement happening in the National Football League between the players and the league. I know this pits you against kind of your representative for the league and Commissioner Goodell. But when we see these issues, like we see it in Pittsburgh right now, we see it, in Green Bay with Clay Matthews. When these type of situations arise, what's from your perspective, what do you do, right? When James Harrison gets, asked to go testify before the commissioner about something that we kind of all think is nonsense, and he lashes out against it, do you take a side? Do you just sit back and say nothing? Or how do you support the player, but also, side with the owners because that's kind of your side of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Tiki, it's a really interesting point. And here's what I can tell you. Like, look, over the years, you guys know I've been involved with, a number of players where, look, they're going to have issues and sometimes they're going to get suspended. And for us, as much as you may want to support your players and have them learn or get them help, like we have to be prepared for, players to be unavailable. And that's what, from a front office perspective, we work so hard at, being prepared for contingencies, as it relates to how they feel about the collective bargaining agreement. That's something that has to be, sorted out between the league and the Players Association. And we're not really part of that relationship, when these things come up. So, generally speaking, from a front office perspective, we're prepared for contingencies. And, when things are dealt with at the bigger picture, those parties will handle it.
And you're in a tricky spot here, Mike, because, listen, you have juice within the franchise, obviously. You're not the owner, though, so you're not directly connected to Goodell. You're not a player. You're not a coach. You're kind of in the middle where I would imagine you see both sides, and you could probably understand both sides and their views, right?
Yeah, and look, for us, what we try to do is just, make sure our players, we try to communicate well, in terms of, what the rules are as they are today. Again, we didn't make the rules, but, it's our job to make sure they know what they are. So we try to over-communicate with our guys. But, look, things are going to happen. Guys are going to test positive. That's the reality of it, right? There's 90 guys in the off season and there's 32 teams. So things are going to happen. So, we just try to worry about what we can control at our level. And again, when you're running a front office, you just know things are going to happen. And look, if and when rules changes, we'll adapt accordingly. But, the rules are what they are, and, we just try to live within them.
Yeah, we'll get that marijuana thing all sorted out and get it legalized in the league so you can stop getting guys clipped and suspended. One last on the field question for you, Mike. One of the guys I loved in the league a few years ago before he started getting all these injuries was Arian Foster because he does everything. Catches the ball, runs the ball, he blocks. I mean, he's that complete running back. Does he have anything left? You guys take a chance on him, obviously. Does he have anything left?
Yeah, Tiki, that's a great point. Not only do we think he has something left, but, in our offense, we put a big premium on the ability for our running backs to catch the ball, and all these guys are going to play. We felt like we needed more depth there, so we have Jay Ajayi, a fifth-round pick from a year ago, Kenyon Drake from Alabama, but we're really excited about Arian, and I think he's going to help us not only in the running game but the passing game, and we think he does have a lot left, and we think that'll be one of those signs that we're going to look back and be really happy about. The other thing is he's been very productive in this league, and from our standpoint, when you can bring in a guy of his pedigree and he could teach the younger guys about when to watch tape, how to hydrate, that's purposeful and that's meaningful because you want that to rub off on some of these younger guys.
Mike, it's been a while. Good catching up, man. You sound good. Stadium looks good. We know you have a pretty good roster as well. We'll see if it translates to the wins. Always nice catching up there, Mike.
Yeah, same here, guys. Really appreciate it.